Hello there, everybody. Dev here with Rogue Deck Chronicles, and this week I want to showcase our first Chaos Rising list. And honestly, this is a card that I was very excited when I saw and I read, and I'm so glad I was able to get my hand on it and play with it pretty much day one of the new set. And that is Mega Floette EX. So Mega Floette EX is a basic psychic type Mega Pokemon, so it gives up 3 prizes when it's knocked out, and has 2 attacks. So first one for a single Psychic, Gentle Light, heal 30 from each Pokemon, both yours and your opponent. Very situational heal that can fix math or screw up strategies. But really, we want to set up Eternity Bloom. For 3 Psychic Energy, it is 200. But we search our deck for 4 basic Psychic Energy and attach them to our bench Pokemon any way we like. Another big piece for this deck is that we are weak to Psychic, or to Metal, not Darkness, as a Psychic type. So that's a very key difference in kind of changing up that Psychic type Pokemon with a different weakness. Be able to kind of play off another weakness in your deck. Really, how we want to play it is we want to try to get as much energy on the board. We want to get energy onto Mega Floette as quick as possible. The primary avenue of doing that is actually through Smoochum. Smoochum is a baby Pokemon, 30 HP with a free attack. Playful Kiss, search your deck for 2 basic Psychic Energy and attach them to one of your bench Pokemon. So turn 1 going second, we want to attack with Smoochum. We want to put 2 energy on a Mega Floette, and that way we're off and running. The other partner Pokemon in this deck, we are running 1 Lillie's Clefairy. Again, that helps with the Dragapult matchup. We are running 2 Latias because every single Pokemon in this list are basic Pokemon, which means we have free retreat, which means we will not be retreat locked, except for certain circumstances. So that helps a lot. We do run 1 Deoxys from Chaos Rising. This is the Speed Deoxys, and this is the one with the Psy Spear, 120 for 3 energy, and it has 2 extra energy attached to it. It will do 120 to one of your opponent's bench. Very situational for the extra energy, but 120 on a basic single prizer is not bad at all. We are running 1 Spectrier, and that is for the Phantasmal Barrage attack for Psychic Colress. Discard all energy and place 12 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. This is a very good attack to clean up if your Mega Floette has not been able to do that and they run away from you. So very, very good end game kind of closing attack. For 3 energy, place 12 damage counters on one Pokemon anywhere you want is very, very good. We are running 2 Xerneas from Chaos Rising as well. The Geostorm for 3 Psychic. 30 times the amount of Psychic Energy in play. With this Mega Floette and the Smoochum, we can get this to basically snowball really quickly. And we do run 1 Uxie to place damage counters and kind of just spread damage early game if we have to. It's a single prize, single energy that can put 20 damage counters, and that 20 could fix some math. So it's a situational attacker here. I like the one-off inclusion. It isn't something that I would go to as my main kind of strategy, but in certain circumstances, I definitely see its value. And then we're running 1 Mega Kangaskhan, Rapid Fire combo for 3 energy. You can get accelerated Mega Floette. And we have to run Aaron, again, another way to draw cards and kind of get cards into our hand. Because as you'll see with our supporters, because we're thinning out energy, we kind of just thin the deck and hopefully get into what we need in other ways. But the run Aaron definitely will be able to help us with the card draw. And we, of course, are going to run 1 Meowth to allow us to cherry pick a supporter when we need it at the time of playing Meowth from the hand. In terms of the supporter line, we're running 4 Lillie, 3 Boss, 1 AZ Tranquility. AZ Tranquility is a new supporter from Chaos Rising. Switch your active Pokemon, and if with one of your bench, and if Pokemon you switched out wasn't EX, you heal 80. Great way to kind of just survive and keep a Floette running. And then we have the Colress Tenacity, which allows us to get to the stadium and an energy card into our hand. The reason why that's important is because of the new dynamic of this stadium mechanic that is being brought into the format with Chaos Rising, which is the Prism Tower and the Ange Floette stadium combo. So, first things first, let's talk about Prism Tower. Prism Tower is a stadium card that reads, once during each player's turn, you may discard 2 cards from your hand to draw 1. We will utilize that every once in a while to put certain cards into our discard pile because the discard pile is probably one of our best zones in this deck. But we're also utilizing it so we can play the Ange Floette Stadium. This allows us to make our Mega Floette EXs from 250 HP to 400 HP Megas, which is a big difference, but you can only play Ange Floette if a Prism Tower is in play first. And then you have to discard the Prism Tower to play this. So, very interesting stadium mechanics. This does allow you to play 2 stadiums in a turn in order to do the Prism to Ange Floette. So there's that. Now, in terms of items, we are running 3 Wondrous Patch. Like we said, we want to put certain resources into our discard pile because Wondrous Patch utilizes that energy acceleration from the discard pile. We are running 3 Night Stretchers to recover our energy and recover our Pokemon. Again, we're all basic Pokemon, so Night Stretcher is just a perfect add-on. And then a 4/4 Poké Pad and Ultra Ball allow us to search for our EXs and non-rule box Pokemon. I haven't found a need for any other types of search. This works out perfectly. All our Pokemon are not really buddy eligible for the most part, so Poké Pad is perfect. We are running Secret Box as our A spec for this deck. Allows us to get a tool card, which we don't run any of, a supporter in Stadium. Again, the Stadium search is important, so we have another way to search out stadiums. And we are running 1 special red card because we are a mega base attacking deck. After they knock out our first Mega Floette, we'll be able to trigger this special red card and bring them down to a hand size of 3. So this is a natural partner to any mega attacking deck that you'll be running. Now, in terms of energy, we're running 11 basic energy, 3 Telepathic Psychic. Telepathic Psychic is obvious. We're running almost only Psychic attackers with the exceptions of the 2 support Pokemon that are colorless. And then I went with 11 Psychic Energy because being able to accelerate 2 to 3 times, you need the 11. My thought was 10 wasn't enough and 4 Telepathic Psychic was just too much, so that 11-3 balance is where I kind of settled, and I really love that balance in this deck. So that being said, guys, as always, this list will be in the description of the video. And before we head onto the ladder and kind of see, 1, how the ladder is of the new set, and 2, how we do on that ladder, just want to make sure you guys have double-checked a couple of things for me. Just look underneath the video. Double-check if you subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. And if you love non-meta conversations, non-meta deck experimentation, this is the place for you. We will play cards that we think will not be top tier. So you're not going to see a Mega Greninja deck on this video unless Mega Greninja falls off the table. But you will see fun little deck ideas like this that will be for those who love to experiment with the card pool. And while you're at it, please give the video a like. A lot of time and effort goes into testing these lists before we even go onto the ladder to record these videos. So giving us a like on our videos literally shows us that you appreciate the work we put into these videos for you. And it gives us the motivation to continue with more. And be honest, the more likes we get, the crazier the ideas can become because we know that people are wanting to see what we're doing. So that being said, guys, let's jump onto the ladder. We'll see how we do, but we'll see also how the new set has changed the ladder. And let's have fun and see how we do. All right. So we're going second, and we're actually having a brilliant opening hand here, where we have a Smoochum lead, Floette, and a Xerneas already. Basic in hand. We're going to get a mulligan. We're facing against a fire deck. Ooh, this is going to be fun. So we're going to do this, and part of while we're getting all this set up is I think a lot of you guys are asking, why are we not touching Greninja? Greninja is like the poster boy of being like the best card in the set. And it's really because we think Greninja is going to be a top level deck by all stretches, all measures, all imaginations in a week or two's time. And we don't need and we don't want to showcase a card that we're really realistically not going to really utilize on the channel. Ooh, 3 mulligans. Oh, this is going to be great. We're going to hold what's in the hand. And with that being said, we were sitting there and I was looking at the other pack arts and being like, which of the pack arts do I want to pick first? And the Mega Floette was probably by far the easiest pick for me out of the three other options. I'm not very high on Pyroar. I haven't really figured out a way to make it work on paper yet. And then Dean is really high on Mega Dragalge. So we each took one of our favorite pack arts and kind of ran with it. So, but we're waiting for our opponent to end turn, I guess, because we're just going to smooch him and really start going crazy next turn. So we can Taurus Tenacity for a stadium. We can Poké Pad for... I don't know what I'll Poké Pad for, to be honest. We have pretty much everything we want. So we're going to attach... I'm going to put the Latias in play just as a buffer. We'll put the Spectrier down, or into hand. And we'll Colress Tenacity. We'll grab pieces. We'll do that. And we will actually put the Prism in play, because then we can just, again, accelerate just a little bit more this turn. Because that allows us to Wondrous Patch this turn. And what I want to do now is we're going to Lifeful Kiss, grab 2 energy from the deck. And I want to have 2 different attackers, 1 energy away each. I think that makes the board just a little safer for us. We have the Prism in play, so if we get what we need to get next turn, we could always just go off. But let's see what our opponent does. The really good part of Mega Floette and even this Xerneas that's coming out in Chaos Rising, they're psychic Pokemon not weak to dark. So that's great. And I feel bad for what we're about to do, because we're just about to go off here. I'll just put Lillie's Clefairy just to fill the bench up. And unfortunately, it's a turn 2 Donk against a Charmander deck that really didn't get a chance to set up. And what we would have done is put 1 there and put 3 there. So we would have had so much, all this energy, all this attackers ready to go next turn. But that's how quick we could set up. Like, that was a turn 2, 200 damage with multiple attackers ready to go. So let's go jump into another match to see how we can do against a more setup opponent. All right, we are going second. And I'm actually just going to put all those beefy boys onto the bench there. So we have a pretty interesting hand. We have a really good lead. We have the Latias. So my goal is for this first turn is to get a Smoochum and really start putting that accelerated pressure into play with the Mega Floette there. Now, Mega Floette cannot one-shot the Pheasantipity. But honestly, the Mega Floette would be able to set up our board. And it looks like we're facing off against a Beedrill deck. This is going to be interesting. So we're definitely going to have to make sure that we do our best to win the Stadium War here. Because we need to make sure that we're doing what we need to do. And we definitely need to get Mega Floette up to its full HP value. So let's put a Prism out. Let's run Aaron. Okay. Let's discard. I think we're going to discard those pieces. For a Smoochum. And I honestly think the best play here is to just get. I don't want to discard anything in hand because I definitely want to have another Stadium in hand just in case they do pop off for a Beedrill next turn. Now we probably could have set up the Kangaskhan, but that would involve a coin flip. And I think the Mega Floette is just a better turn 1 accelerator choice. Yeah, we're seeing them. I think they're going to go to slow way, which is fine, which will allow us to get set up more than they can probably handle. Now, the Beedrill EX is another deck that I'm super high on. My list is a little different than this. I don't run the Fizzdipity. I kind of just go all in on the Dunsparce. But it is so much fun. It's so explosive when it gets set up. And exactly what's happening here. So they're just trying to get that Stadium. They're really put pressure. They got that Stadium, so they're going to get their evolutions. So 310, we're two-shotting regardless. So what I want to do do I want to discard both those cards just for a chance? I think I am. It's a little bit of a greedy. It's a boss. Honestly, I'd rather set up damage on a Beedrill and start the two-shot war now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then put another one there. So if they get all 3 set up this turn, they knock out the Mega Floette. They would have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. All right, they got the Meowth, so they're probably Lilying this turn. Yep, they're trying to get as much exposure because they really need the Stadium this turn. We're operating in a 0-card hand, which is a little bit dangerous, but we do have the backup attacker. We just need to make sure that they're staying below 3. But them playing all these other cards making me feel like they don't have all 3 Beedrills. Oh, they have 1 right there. Do they have the 3rd Beedrill in hand? Question. All right, there's 220. Yep, they have it. Okay. But that's why we set up the Kangaskhan. So we're going to have to get a Prism. We just have to make sure that really we keep them under that 3. Because you're going to take 3 prizes here. That's fine. We're going to take 2 immediately. And then we're going to have to try to figure out what we're going to do after the, well, when they beat the Kangaskhan. And we're just going to Lillie for 8 straight up off the top deck. That's stupid. Let's just put it that way. That's stupid. So I'll Telepathic. And we will grab Really don't have another one I want to grab, so I'm just gonna keep an open bench slot. So we could secret box for a couple things, but there's no real need to right now. So we're gonna rapid fire combo. That's fine. We got the 200, which is this KO. And really what it is that we have energy in hand, cool. We have the Ange Floette, which would make this 400 HP, but it's not attacking, so it's not really doing much. What I could do next turn is just give them a Smoochum and just power up the Mega Floette again, which is something I think I would want to do. Because the chances of flipping 3 heads is just so much. And we don't have the bosses really to do prize trades on the other 2 here. So we're seeing the Kakuna. Do they get the damage? There's the Ultra Ball, so they're going to discard 2 cards. They would have to be discarding 2 cards for the Dunsparce just to draw 3 more. They discarded a Kakuna. Interesting. Are they giving up on the Kakuna? I don't know. I'm just like speaking out loud. This is the type of match I was really excited for after running into a whole bunch of fire attacks that were a little slower. So, up there's the forest. Okay. They still need the pieces. Poké Pad, that's for the Kakuna. So, if they have Kakuna Beedrill in hand, we lose. Oh, they're grabbing a Dunsparce. Okay. So the question is, what do they have? And what do we have to counter what they have? Oh, the redeemable tickets. So the had to be a Beedrill, had to be prized. Okay. We survive a turn. We have to make the most of it now. How do we go about that? So first things first, let's run Aaron. Let's get some more cards into hand. Okay. Well, let's secret box away an energy, an Ultra Ball, and the Meowth. Actually, not the Meowth. And the Night Stretcher. Because we are going to grab. Oh, we have no more Prism Towers. Oh, that sucks. That sucks really bad. Okay. Um, I think what we're going to do then. Okay. Not the combination of, or moves that I was wanting to do. But we're going to go single prize here. We're going to see and kind of force them into something. Energy there. I am going to force them to utilize a switch of some form. And then the last two basic energy in the deck. We'll go to the Xerneas and try to take a knockout with the Xerneas next turn. Alright, so there's one of their energies that they're using just so they can retreat, which is good. They're having a Lillie, so they're not going to be able to use a boss to get one of our damage 3 prizes there, which is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 270. 10 is 380 or 300. So we're just shy and one-shotting a Beedrill. Which does suck, but it is what it is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is when Beedrill gets set up and they're going in this little loop of just putting down a Dunsparce, Runaway Drawing, doing 300 damage a turn. Like, this is really when this is the beauty of the Beedrill archetype. But I am forcing the Beedrill deck here to go through 1 prizers before they go through 3 prizers. Oh, they're going to give me Meowth, which I don't know how I feel about that. How many bosses do I have in a discard pile? Both my bosses are in the discard pile. Okay. So, oh. Before I do anything, let's check the deck. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, unfortunately. I could retreat Xerneas and take a KO. It gives me down to 2 prizes. And then that really puts me in a position where I'm turning on Fez for them this turn, and I'm not a fan of that. Probably should have done this before promoting, because then, yeah, I got the Wondrous Patch here, but that doesn't really do much. Let me just put an energy into play, just in case. Yeah, we'll do the 330. They're going to knock out the Xerneas. That's not the question. I guess really the question is, they're probably going to dig for boss this turn. Because both our bosses are in the discard, so we couldn't just take out a Beedrill, which changes their game. Yep, they already had it. They had it. take it. This was a really fun back and forth match. I will say that. Again, I think these are the 2 best non-Greninja archetypes coming out of Chaos Rising. And a showcased right here with a very, very fun back and forth match there. Alright, going second with a Smoochum Floette in hand, with a Poké Pad as well. 2 energy against a psychic deck, or against a fighting deck. This is as best case scenario as it can be for us. So, very, very excited for this. We're going to be able to set up our board a little bit. We have the Poké Pad to get another attacker. Probably going to try to set up a Xerneas, I think, because we're going to be able to set up energy with Floette in a turn. So let's attach. Let's Poké Pad. Let's get a Xerneas into play. And let's Delightful Kiss. Lane Energy in deck. And next turn, we're ready to go. We have a Prism Tower in hand already. Even with this Hariyama play right here, I'm not too concerned because he didn't attach last turn, so he can't do a... Yeah, see, they're trying to put the Xerneas to slow us down. And I'm okay with that. So, okay. Let's bump that stadium. That stadium didn't hurt us, but I just definitely wanted our stadium in play. And let's Lillie for a fresh set of 8. Get the Latias in play. That's our retreat option here. No. We'll put the Floette into play first. Almost. Major misplayed there. And let's... I think here... Actually, no. I think double Xerneas is a good play here. Because then we'll have energy spread across the board. So we're going to get the knockout in Riolu. To be fair, this would have knocked out the Mega Lucario as well. And we are going to get 2 Xerneas pretty much set up. We have a Mega Floette in the active. They don't really have an attacking threat. And I think this just shows again how aggressive this build of Mega Floette can be, where we have set up with Smoochum so you can set up a Smoochum so consistently. The 2 Latias make sure pretty much you're never locked into an attacker you don't want to have in the active, because it turns pretty much the entire deck into free retreat. Which I don't know if our opponent realizes that. And then just this getting Floette to become 400 HP Mega. But I want to showcase Xerneas a little bit, so we're going to attack with Xerneas this turn. Not going to get anyone. We're going to keep the bench spot open. And we're going to hit for 270. Turns into 540 with weakness. But we are just going to enjoy it. Again, this is why I really wanted to showcase Mega Floette. I saw this potential. I saw the Xerneas combination. I'm like, this makes sense. Especially with Mega Lucario being such a prevalent deck and a lot of psychic weakness right now. Weirdly enough tonight, out of playing for a little under 2 hours, haven't seen a single Dragapult on the ladder. Again, everyone's playing new decks, new stuff. I get it. But this is honestly, this aggression and this pressure that we showcased in pretty much all the matches today is what you get out of this build of Mega Floette. I'm not really a fan, I'll be honest. I understand why you would put the Deoxys in this list. I'm not really a fan. The 5 energy cost does seem a little much on a single prizer just for to put 120 on the bench. It just doesn't feel right, to be quite honest with you. Because like this turn we have nothing really much to do. I'm going to keep the open spot, and we're just going to poke and get the knockouts. With that, and kind of showcasing this deck and showcasing Chaos Rising a little bit today. I'm excited for the Chaos Rising format. I think what we've seen in real life tournaments, the prevalence of Dragapult this set I think kind of reels it in a little bit, not by a lot, but a little bit. And it's one of those things where I'm excited to see what other decks we showcase. I already have a list of like 5 or 6 that I'm kind of working on in the background, and really loving this early format. We'll see how it fleshes out when it comes in tournaments in a couple weeks, and see what NAIC is going to be looking like. But with that, as you saw, this match was kind of just we set up, they didn't kind of piece, and we had weakness already, so it wasn't like it was going to be a harder setup for us to begin with. But with that being said, thank you if you made it this far into the video. I honestly, like I said, I really, really do enjoy the Mega Floette build. I think this is a very fun, aggressive, very linear deck for those who don't want to really think and turn their brains off sometimes. There is some thinking, but this is a deck where it's pretty much just Smoochum, Mega Floette, attach, accelerate, attack. It's a really fun, straightforward kind of deck list. I like it. Let me just put it onto the screen one more time. Here's the list again for everyone who didn't see it in the intro or can't find it in the description of the video. This is a fun list. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the news. Like I said, I'm enjoying Chaos Rising. So hopefully you guys are too. Before we head out, just double check if you have subscribed to the channel. Please give the video a like. Greatly. Both of those options are free, and it just helps grow the channel to where we want it to be. We want to showcase our ideas and our enthusiasm with the rest of the world effectively with the YouTube algorithm. So, but with that being said, guys, it's getting late for me. I'm going to jump and go to bed. I'm going to wake up in the morning, crank out more decks. Hope you guys are enjoying the new client. And with that being said, have fun playing those sneaky decks.